Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing well. I am back for another day. We've also got a very special guest with us today, as usual, for a Wednesday, who will get up to the stage in a second. We've got a good one today. Obviously, loads to look at on Bitcoin. We've got Save with Crypto, who's going to run through some stuff about some recent trades that he's been doing. We'll obviously look at the market to see what we've been getting, look at altcoins, and yeah, it should be a good one. So do make sure you start off the stream by liking it, drop a like, and if you happen to be new, do make sure you subscribe. We're very slowly crawling towards 2,000 subscribers. Very slowly, but we are getting there. So each and every subscriber helps. So do make sure you drop that if you haven't already. We've got Florin, how we doing? Dan, what's good? We've got Venelin in the chat. Crypto Pappy, watching from the treadmill. Well, let's hope that we can make your time on the treadmill go a little faster then for you, mate. We got the Gold Sniper. How we doing, mate? I'm going to drop you a DM now, mate, as well. Watch out for it. But my good friend Save with Crypto, how are we doing, mate?
I'm all right. Thank you very much.
Are you? Oh, yes, there you are.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. So, yeah, fine. How's things?
Pretty damn good, actually. Yeah, I've had a nice few days, actually, thanks to the President of the United States and other weirdos.
Yeah.
No, it's been really good, actually.
That's what we like.
Yeah, I think we've got that delay again, unfortunately. So
yeah, we'll obviously have we? Oh no! I even reset my my MacBook as well before this. I restarted it, hoping that it would solve any issue. But do we have a delay? Do we?
Yeah, I can always tell because it's when you talk every now and again, it'll do that kind of Dalek thing. It'll go like, and
Right. Okay.
and when that happens,
I should have reset my internet, really, shouldn't I? Before I should have reset my internet before because it fixed it last time, didn't it?
It made it better, yeah. I think what I'll do is when you say something, I'll wait a few seconds before I start talking. Otherwise, it sounds like I'm talking over you.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what we'll do, mate. When you're doing your section,
yeah,
just obviously about talking about your thing. I'll go and reset my internet because it only takes a couple of minutes, doesn't it, to come back on?
Oh, that'll work, won't it? Yeah, because you don't have to. Yeah, because as long as StreamYard's running somewhere, it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah. So because you'll be presenting and running through as well,
okay.
We will be able to do that. So I'll do that, but I'm just going to start resetting it. I think every single day now before I come on stream, just to give it that little kick up the arse. But yeah, welcome back, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the stream. It's going to be a good one. And yeah, we'll look at what we've got on Bitcoin. We've got Razvan in. We've got Mike Munn saying, watching from the sauna. Very nice. Think Starlink, Dave. Oh yeah, that'd be legendary, wouldn't it? That'd be legendary to get Starlink. But yes, so without further ado, what are we getting on Bitcoin? Well, we've had this nice little recovery, haven't we? Since yesterday, obviously moving into today as well.
Yeah, it's been great.
Nice little recovery on Bitcoin after coming back down. Yeah, yesterday and touching 81,000, just below 81,500. And we followed that on today as well, pushing up towards $91,000 right into the US Open. So what are we going to get today? Well, we'll have to see, won't we? But Stonksy has caught along very nicely in from just below $87,000. We've got Ethereum up nicely as well. Ethereum finally getting a little bit of a pump as well. Obviously held this critical level very well in the end for the daily close. And then, yeah, everything kind of following on from that. Everything's sort of pretty much just being dragged along for the ride. ADA's been quite strong. This started going on its own yesterday as well, kind of reversing some of them losses after the initial pump. And then, yeah, there's a couple of others in there as well. But overall, nice day on the market. Nice day for Bitcoin, and we'll see if it continues or not. Personally, I've got one open trade. I've got a hype long open. I'm thinking maybe I should have closed it before at local resistance. I should have closed it when we come up here. I'm thinking now. But either way, I've got my stop loss just below my entry. So I'm going to ride it. I've got my take profit up here at 1850. So I'm going to either round trip this or I'm going to get a nice little bit of profit on this account. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. What about you, mate? Have you got any active trades open right now, or did you make enough to kind of chill?
I don't think that ever happens, does it? Really? Because I know that's what you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to make a load of money and then sort of like, you know, go for a walk or something, and, you know, forget about it for a few days. But I mean, to me, I'm probably just a sort of, you know, ridiculous gambling addict or something. Actually, I'm not. I mean, to be fair, I don't actually. Sorry, my phone's pinging like that. To be fair, I don't think I've ever gambled in my life. I mean, I've been to Las Vegas 3 times, and I've actually not even put a single bet on or even put a dime in a slot machine. You know,
Yeah.
My wife. God, hang on. Sorry, the phone's going up in a way.
It's all right. Go on, mate.
It's all right. I'll put it on there. Put it on. It's actually a guy who's normally in the chat, and he's pinging me. Does he not know what I'm doing? Anyway.
Yeah, we've got important business on, haven't we?
Yeah, really. Yeah, and anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I haven't got a gambling gene at all, but with trading, it's really hard to sort of leave it alone, especially when you know, when you've got a few pounds in your pocket, isn't it? So anyway, but what I was going to show you was I've had a slight revelation in my trading, which should have happened years ago, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit if I can. Shall I share my screen or?
Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. You share away, and I'll put you on, and then yeah, let's go through whatever you want.
Okay. I mean, it's not. Hang
on. We've got Kevin in the chat. We got Justin. Yes, my man. How we doing? And we got the legend that is Stonksy as well, sending love and peace from Koh Samui. Hope you're having a good one, mate.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm ready to share when you are.
Yeah. Okay. You're on.
Okay. Cool. Hang on first. I'm just going to reply to this mate of mine, and I'm just going to say I'm on the stream, right? So,
yeah.
I was going to say I'm on stream with David. There you go. So hopefully we'll see him here in a minute, and he can ask me whatever he's going to ask me in the chat. Anyway, so this is my Bybit account, right? Now, I don't know if you remember, like a few weeks ago when Bitcoin was at 88,000, I said I was going to buy some Bitcoin, and I did. I bought £3,000 worth of Bitcoin, right? And it was just sitting there in my Swissborg account.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to do anything with it because I bought it at a good price, and I'm just going to leave it forever, you know. And it's going to be part of my stash, you know. Maybe move it to my ledger or something like that. But that was the plan. Now, of course, when Bitcoin went down a lot more, I was thinking, oh, I want to trade with it now. So I moved it to my Bybit account, which is what you can see here. I didn't move it all. I moved a bit of it, and I did it wrong. What I did was I was using Bybit, and I mean I've used Bybit a lot over the years. It was the first exchange that I ever sort of did big trades on, and I stopped using it when they sort of banned it in the UK. But because I've got a Palo ID now, I can use it in the UK. So I started using it again. What I completely forgot was that with inverse perpetual, which is where your underlying asset is whatever you want to trade. So, for example, like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, for example, you can use that as your underlying asset, right? So I thought, well, that's what I want to do, because I think the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. So I want my underlying asset to be Bitcoin. Whereas, for example, in BLOFIN, your underlying asset at the moment has to be USDT. Okay, so I thought, I don't want to do that. I want to use Bitcoin. So I'm going to put it in my Bybit account and use it there.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. I'm going to take this opportunity just to reset my internet while you're going through this.
Okay, sure.
All right.
I'll check.
Yeah, it won't be a second. You carry on as normal. The stream will be fine. I'll just reset. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Okay, no worries. Right, I've forgotten what I was saying now. Okay, so let me just clarify this. So in, for example, BLOFIN, where you're trading USDT perpetual, you can be long and you can be short at the same time, which means that, say you're in a trade that's going south a little bit, and you're in a long, you can actually set up a short at the same time that kind of negates some of the effect of that. So that's what I do sometimes, and I've only started doing that in the past sort of like year or so on exchanges like BLOFIN, where you can do that. Now, for some reason, on Bybit, you can only do that, and they call it hedge mode. It's where you can be long and short at the same time with two separate trades. I think the alternative is called one way. It's basically where you can, if you set a short trade at the same time as you got a long trade, it's basically just a sell. Now, what I didn't realize was that hedge mode is only available on Bybit on the USDT pair. Okay, so I was trading. So I wasn't trading that. I was trading BTC. So I wasn't trading BTC USDT perpetual. I was trading BTC USD perpetual. Okay, and that means that my underlying asset was Bitcoin. I'll keep saying that over and over again just to clarify it. And what I forgot was there is no hedge mode in inverse perpetual. So what happened sometime last week? Was it last week? It was about around about here, like 26th of February. Around about then, I had a trade which was going south quite badly. It wasn't in massive danger, but it was a large trade. It was like, I was trading with like 1,000, or I can't remember now. It was about $1,000, and I was on 15x leverage, something like that, and it was going south. And what I did, I thought I might go a bit further south. So what I'll do, I'll set up a short at the same time with a similar amount of money. The idea being that when it got to that sort of position, when the short was in quite a lot of profit, I would then close that short, use the profit from that short to add margin to the long, and that would save that trade, and then I could ride that one back up. Okay, so that's what I thought I'd do. You back, Dave?
Yes, I'm here, mate. Yes.
Okay, I'll just very briefly recap, because you might have missed the good bit. But what I was saying, I was trading on Bybit with quite a large amount of money, and what I forgot was that Bybit on the inverse perpetuals, that's where you're trading with Bitcoin as your collateral. There's no hedge mode, so you can't be short and long at the same time. You can if you're trading with USDT. So if you're trading BTC USDT perpetual, you have got that hedge mode option if you want it, where you can be long and short at the same time. Anyway, what I was saying was that because this was about a week ago, I had a long trade that had gone negative a bit, and I thought, okay, I'll do a short at the same time. As the short goes down, when it gets to as low as I think it's going to go, I'll close the short, use the profit from that to add margin to the long, and then hopefully get out of it that way. Okay, so there was two things wrong with that. One is there was no hedge mode, and secondly, that's a really stupid thing to do anyway, because really you shouldn't be holding onto a trade where it was wrong, where your entry was wrong. But the point is, because I didn't have the hedge mode, when I went into the short, it essentially like closed down the majority of the long trade in a loss.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost a load of money, like, and you can see here. So on the 26th of February, I had $2,357, and then I did that trade, and I was down to 841, and I was thinking, what a bloody
Oh wow.
yeah, and it wasn't even, well, it was because of it was two reasons. Like I say, it was the fact that I forgot there was no hedge mode, so I basically closed down I closed down the majority of a losing trade, and then I was left with a short that wasn't going particularly short anyway. So that was a bad move. It was like a desperation short, and that was a really stupid thing to do, and I felt really stupid. I thought, I've spent all that bloody money, actually real fiat money that I've earned from doing normal work. I've spent all that, bought Bitcoin. I've lost like over half of it, and anyway, but during the week we had some really good pumps and stuff, and I managed to catch them all. And it just happened that on Sunday, was it Sunday, the Trump pump? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, I'd done something good on the Saturday as well, and I got up to like $1,758. That was really good. And then the Trump pump happened, and I just happened to be trying to maneuver my way into a long position at the time. And I'll talk about that in a minute, because it was quite cool how I got into it. But I was in a long, and I wasn't quite sure, and I was thinking, is this going to be good or not? And I thought I'd just go out, and it was Sunday afternoon. I thought I'd just go down to Morrison's before it shuts and get a bit of shopping and stuff. And as I came out of Morrison's, my phone dinged and said, like, Bitcoin has gone over such a price, and I was thinking, what the hell's happened? And of course, that was the Trump tweet and all that. So I went from $1,758 to like $4,655, which was brilliant. And then I thought, okay, well, that probably won't last forever. I'll try and short it. So then I lost a bit the next day. So I went down from 4,600 to 3,800. And then this is probably the one I'll show you in a moment, but I managed to get into that long position just before Stonksy went green on the 1 hour yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I managed to get into that. So that was like 3,801. So I'm now up to 4,609. And I've actually taken a bit out of this as well, because I wanted to do some other stuff with other exchanges. So overall, I've got from $800 to about 6,000 in just over a week, which is pretty good, isn't it?
Well, you can't complain with that, can you? Especially recovering the initial loss as well, because from that point you made the mistake there to now, you've recovered, a considerable couple of X, haven't you?
Yeah. Anyway, so what my revelation is I don't know why I even made a video about this. I even made a post about it on my website. Hang on a sec, I'll find it. Because I've always been really bad at sorry, I'll be with you in a sec. I've always been really bad at closing a losing trade. If a trade's been going negative, I've always thought, oh, maybe I'll add more margin, or I'll sort of try and ladder in some extra money and stuff, and I don't know, it's just not worked at all. I found it. Okay, so back on January the 27th, I actually made this video here called "Get Used to Losing," right? And I made this table here as well, because obviously when you make a loss, you need to make back more to get back to where you were. So I made this table, and this was like a bit of a revelation to me. I mean, I kind of knew this anyway, but so literally, if you lose 10%, you'll need to make back 11% to get where you were. If you lose if you lose 20%, you need to make back 25% to get back where you were. Now, I've done things in the past where I've lost 70%. And if you lose 70%, you need to make 233% to get back where you were. So to me, what I've been doing is, if I'm in a trade and it's not going how I thought it, or like my entry was rubbish, or my idea was wrong, or even, even if it's a Stonksy signal and it's not doing what I thought, and I think, no, I'm not sure about that. Even that, if it's gone 20% down, which normally means I've got too high leverage, I will close it in a loss and I'll lose 20%, because I know it's fairly easy to make 25% back. But if you lose 80%, say, you need to make 400% back, which I know is going to take me a couple of months. And this is really obvious stuff, isn't it? But like, I don't know, I've just had to sort of drill it into my head. And I made this video here because, I wanted to sort of get a proper idea of like, I just wanted to teach myself a lesson, really. And I have, and I think I proved it last week by making those losses and then making them back. So that's been quite good. That's been quite a revelation for me. Just while I'm here, actually, by the way, I've put this site together. It's called savewithcrypto.org. It's not .com, it's .org, because I consider everything I do to be a charity. well, actually, to be honest, there's nothing for sale here. It's just it's just full of things that give you money and get your money off things. So you will actually save with crypto by coming here. So that is probably quite a useful resource. And I've also put on the home page, I've put this video here, which is to do with exponential moving averages that I set up, that I will show you in a moment as well. That's the EMAs that I use. It was an idea I got from Eric Crown, and it's something I use all the time. And I do use it in conjunction with Stonksy as well, as a bit of extra, extra confidence, if you like. I always consider it to be like, me driving wearing my glasses. I can drive if I'm not wearing glasses, but it's a lot safer if I do.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So what I was going to show you was some things I noticed over the weekend that might be useful, and that's here on TradingView. This is the Bybit chart. Oh, first things first, actually, I don't know if you were aware of this, but that actual Trump pump we got on Sunday. We got on Sunday. That was there showing green on the Bybit chart. If you look on the index chart, it wasn't there, and also it wasn't there.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
It wasn't there on the BitGet chart, and it wasn't there. It wasn't there on the BLOFIN chart. So it's what I would say is, if you're like me and you're not using the bot yet, and you're looking out for those 1 hour backgrounds going green, do check a few different exchanges, because it doesn't always seem to trigger on the index one. And that did surprise me, actually, because I thought it just went for the one with the most history, but maybe there's something else there as well. But it did trigger on the Bybit chart. However, that wasn't particularly the reason I got into it. I got into the trade because if I put these EMAs on, okay, so these are the ones you see all the time. These are ones I talk about in all the videos that I do. The red one is a 5 EMA. The cyan is a 9 EMA. The yellow is a 21 EMA, and the green is a 55 EMA. If you want to know how to set these up, look at the video that's on the homepage of savewithcrypto.org, and that shows you how to do it. It's a free indicator. So round about here on Saturday, what I saw on the 1 hour time frame, and yet again, this is really good on the 1 hour time frame, is I saw this yellow cross the green. Okay, now when that crosses the green, it's normally a fairly bullish sign. So I was kind of like maneuvering into a bit of a long position here. I didn't do all in one go. I kind of just added little bits and went into a long. And actually, even during Saturday, I think I managed to close a fair bit of my trade. You know, there was a 2.5% increase there, and I was actually on fairly silly leverage, on like 20x leverage. So obviously that was quite a nice increase then. But it meant that I had part of the position open still when we got that news, and of course we got that Trump pump, and it was brilliant, and it was really good, and that maybe that money that got me to over $4,000 on that account, which was superb. So these EMAs were really useful, and if you compare that with what happened with Stonksy, it was quite interesting because this was a Saturday, and then all the way up to there, it was kind of showing nothing. But there again, if you look here, this is showing the long and short signals from the index chart, isn't it? No, sorry. No, the long and short and the no trade are shown from the BLOFIN chart, I believe. Is that right? No, I don't know. Anyway, whatever that is.
No, that's on that chart.
Oh, okay.
That's on the chart that you're looking at the moment.
Oh,
So
okay.
it shows you whatever chart it is that you're looking at. It's just obviously currently you've got it set to the 1 hour, haven't you? But you're also looking at the 1 hour at the moment.
Oh, I don't know, because I've got the setting set to.
You got the higher time frame on the 1 hour as well.
Yeah, so that means it just shows the 1 hour. Yeah, that's why it says long on 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, point being was, because the yellow was above the green now, I was thinking, okay, this is good for a long, and then we got that kind of bit of green there for about an hour on Stonksy, and I was thinking, this is it, we're off, and then it went red again, and I wasn't quite sure. So that was the reason I wasn't fully in the trade at this point, even though the yellow was above the green. Stonksy was still red, so I wasn't quite sure. And then, of course, as soon as Stonksy went green, that was when I was down at Morrison's. But obviously the price went mental then, didn't it? So that was really cool. So the EMA is extremely useful, I think. I use them in conjunction with Stonksy all the time. And then what I thought, which I'm not sure if you've covered this week already, but I was looking on the CME chart. So that's, I've got it here somewhere. Hang on. Where's it gone? Oh. So I'm just looking for the CME chart. I'll put it in. So
you got it.
No, was it BTC 1, isn't it?
1 exclamation mark. Exclamation mark.
Oh, it's that one, isn't it?
There it is at the bottom, yeah.
All right. So obviously because we'd had that sort of like massive pump, there was this huge CME gap, which I'm sure everyone was quite aware of. And I just thought, that is so big. That's like about $9,000 big, that is, made on a Sunday. And I thought, that's got to fill on Monday. So I started looking for a short around about that time. And I had Stonksy on. Stonksy didn't actually show it as being short. So once again, I had my EMAs on. So round about here, what I often look for is when you see when you see the red 5 EMA, when you see that touch the cyan 9 EMA, I normally know that's a pretty good sign that it's at least going to come down to the yellow. Okay. And then when you see the cyan touch the yellow, like it did here, that's normally a pretty good sign that it's going to come down to the green. Okay. So by that time, I was like, by here, I was pretty much fully into the short. So I managed to do a short, and I think I made about 56% sort of like coming down. So I made like another couple of grand coming down there, which was amazing. Now, since then, I've been thinking, well, yesterday I was thinking, okay, do we go down now to fill in the CME gap from last November that was at 77,200? And I really thought it was going to happen, but it didn't. And the reason that was, hang on. Now, the reason I started to think it wasn't going to go. Sorry, that's my. Sorry, that's my notification again that the 3 minute has gone green. Okay. What I started to notice down here, I mean, I was looking at the 5 minute time frame, and I was starting to see that looking encouraging, like the price was going to go up. And I did actually do a little YouTube short just to say, I think now I've seen this 5 minute go cross bullish, then I think the price is going to go up. I did the little short just because I put out a video in the morning talking about we might go down to the CME gap and maybe even further down. So I was looking bearish at first, and then I saw that, and then I thought, okay, that's looking bullish. And then once again, you see this, like the red EMA touched the cyan there. So at that point, I'm thinking that's going to go back up again. So I actually went into a long. And then we came up to there, and that was Wednesday. So that's today, isn't it? Today, 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, well, I wasn't awake, but I was already in the long anyway. Already in the long. And also, look, Stonksy had actually gone green at 6 o'clock last night. So Stonksy's been brilliant. And by looking here at the red and cyan EMAs, I got a pretty good chance that, I'd got into that at quite a good level. And then when I woke up this morning, I was thinking, okay, well, I've got a little bit more capital to take because I've taken a little bit of profit on the way up. So I need to add that in somewhere. So what I did then, is, hang on a sec. Right. Oh, let's go back to the Bybit chart. Okay. So back on the Bybit chart on the 1 hour. Just move that stuff out of the way. Okay. So we'd had the pump from Trump on Sunday, and then we come down. We'd had the Trump dump, all right, and then we were on the way back up. Now I knew we were on the way back up because Stonksy was green. We were in the 1 hour time frame. That was all looking pretty cool. And I thought, okay, there needs to be some levels here that are it's gonna struggle at. So I just got the Fibonacci out, and I kind of went from this low here that was on Friday, and that was about 78, wasn't it? And then I went up to that high from the Trump pump. Okay, look how beautiful that is. It's just amazing, isn't it? I'm always stunned by Fibonacci, like kind of. I mean, I don't even understand how it works really, but I know it's, Fibonacci levels are levels that occur in nature, but you do something like that and it's like, it's brilliant. So what we'd seen, for anyone who doesn't know about Fibonacci, by the way, the important levels for retracements are the 618 and the 786 levels. That's what they call the golden pocket. I've coloured my lines and bars slightly different to the ones you get on TradingView. If you want to know how to set that up, just let me know somewhere, and I'll point you to a video about that. So this is so beautiful because we'd gone from 10 o'clock Friday morning, we'd gone from like 78,000, we'd gone up to 95,000, right? And then we've done a perfect retracement a 786 is what they call a deep retracement. 618 is the one that Bitcoin normally likes. And then you've got more shallow retracements like the 382. And that came down so beautifully to the 786. That was just amazing. Okay. On the way up, okay, we smashed through the 618. But you can see the 618, had this like a bit of history from there. So yet again, it's fairly relevant. And then we got to the 0.5. Now the 0.5 isn't a Fibonacci level. The 0.5 is something that tends to happen with crypto. For some reason, the 0.5 seems to be a relevant level amongst all the Fibonacci's. So what actually happened? We kind of came through that. We went straight up. This was like last night, wasn't it? Straight up, got to the 382 Fibonacci. That's 88,600. Got there, came back, and I was thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to add my extra bit of capital in. Where shall I add it? And I thought, well, I'll just go for the 0.5. So I went for the 0.5. Sure enough, the extra bit of capital went into the trade there. And then it went back up again. This time it went through the 382, and we're there now. Okay. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, what do we do next? So let's get rid of that Fibonacci. Okay. Hope you're enjoying this. If you're enjoying it, by the way, I'm enjoying talking about it because I'm quite excited, actually. And if you are enjoying it, please do slap a like on the stream and make a note to go and like my channel as well. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Carry on, mate.
Okay, right. So let's go back to, hang on. Right. So let's go back to the all-time high. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Right. Go away. Right. Okay. So let's do a Fibonacci, right? Going from here down to here. So you can do a Fibonacci upside down. So you can go from that level there, which is the all-time high, and come down to that level there, which was a 78,000 from last week. And yet again, look how beautiful this is. I mean, that golden pocket here obviously is 618 to 786. Okay, that was just going bing bong bing, in that range there. Okay, it was more in the range here between the 0.5 and the 618. So on the way back up, I think at the moment we've stopped a little bit because we're at the 382, and I think if things go well, and I think they will, because at the moment the Stonksy is green. My 1 hour moving averages are crossed bullish, so that's good. And I think what might happen is we might go up here a little bit, wiggle around here for a bit, possibly come back down, possibly go back up, and then do something like that up until Friday, when everything will be thrown out the window temporarily, because we'll get all that news stuff that we get on Friday. Meanwhile, what I'll also be looking at, besides those levels there, is, hang on, my computer's gone a bit slow again. I've been thinking, I might either have to get another computer, or I might have to, because I'm thinking I might get one just for live streaming, or I might have to sort of reformat this one, just start again, take everything off it. I think it's got too much crap on it. Anyway, so meanwhile, let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. Put on my EMAs. Okay. So what I tend to do with these as well is, when I've seen like a really bullish sign, like the yellow crossing the green there on the 1 hour time frame, I kind of look for that on the next time frame up, and I tend to just go for the fairly standard ones. So I'll probably look at the 2 hour is what I want. So I'll go for the 2 hour one, and there, look, you can see there that the yellow and green are about to cross over again on the 2 hour time frame. Now that's what happened on Sunday as well, when we shot up to 95k. So this is all looking really bullish to me. I will say one thing though. I noticed that when these cross over, at that point in time, the price pulls back a little bit. So if you're using these EMAs and you're looking for that yellow and green crossover, then you don't generally need to chase a candle, because you will see a bit of a candle going up around about that time. But normally, as it goes up, it sort of retraces a little bit. And this is like, if you're on the 5-minute time frame, it will retrace like 1 or 2 5-minute candles. If you're on the 1 hour time frame, it will retrace normally that next 1 hour candle, and that seems to happen. Now that's something I have only noticed like since Friday, and I did actually make a video about it on my channel, so you can watch that if you want. But I have noticed that as well. So well, that's just an interesting little tip, and it's something that I will keep an eye on in the future, because I think that is something worth noting. And even now you can see, because on this 2 hour time frame, you know, they pretty much have actually crossed actually. And, you know, sure enough, this 2 hour candle is actually red, and it's got 16 minutes before it closes. So, so I wouldn't be surprised if that stays red. They cross definitively in 16 minutes time, and then the next candle is green, and then round about New York Open, well, I know how I'm going to vote in your poll, Dave. So are you going to do a poll for the New York Open?
We certainly will, mate. Yeah, we will definitely do
well, that's
a poll.
Okay, that's cool. Anyway, but I just thought that was really interesting. That's been like a. Oh, actually, I'll show you my current trade, because it's really nice. It's looking good. It's looking good. I mean, the entry isn't quite as good as it could be, because I've been sort of adding bits to it and stuff, you know, and I took some profit along the way, because that's the thing to do, isn't it? It's come back down now. I've showed you. Anyway, so that's how it's looking at the moment. It's 10x leverage. Okay, 35.7% in profit. So I've taken $240 already, and it's currently 1,384 in profit. So that's good, and that's thanks to the EMAs and thanks to Stonksy. So thank you very much.
That was superb, mate. Big thank you for going through that. That was mega.
Sorry, I just realised I wasn't showing you that tab actually. Sorry. Yeah. So there you go. This is the trade. So we're on. Oops. Sorry. Excuse my French. So yeah. So it chooses to pull back just as I show you, but yeah. So 10x leverage, 37% in profit, $1,466. And I've taken 240 already. So that's pretty cool. So what I might do now is, bearing in mind, we might stumble a little bit on that Fibonacci level that I mentioned a few minutes ago. I might set a partial take profit for wherever that is. And then if it retraces a little bit, then I'll add a bit more in and continue to go. But the idea generally will be to keep this profit around about 40%, you know. So say for example, if that goes up to like 50%, I'll take a bit of profit, and then I'll choose where to add that back in, so that profit will stay about 40%, and then I'll just keep on with that until Stonksy goes red. So yeah, that's my plan. So I'm quite excited. I seem to have like turned a corner with my trading, where I knew I'd have to get better at losing, if you know what I mean, which sounds a ridiculous thing to say, but I need to just accept when you're wrong. If you've done something stupid and you can see your trades going negative, I would say don't ever let it get to that kind of 30-40% down, just never let it do that. Just close it and then, look for another opportunity, because I've kind of proved here that, you can, by being reasonably careful and patient, you can actually make, a decent profit. When I've turned $800 into about 6,000, haven't I, in a week? So that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, it's mega. Not a bad week at all, is it? You can't complain with that week performance. And yeah, you've got, like you said, if you're looking to get another computer, then you've just earned your nice little chunk to spend on it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Could you use your Bybit cards to buy it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I was going to get one of those. Mac Minis, one of the new ones, but you can get the like the basic model's about $500, isn't it? But I was going to get the studio one, because that's got like a bigger memory and it's a little bit faster and stuff. So I thought I'll have that as my live streaming computer, and then I won't have anything. Nothing will be laggy or anything like that. So
yeah, I used to have a Mac Mini. The only thing with it is I found it it wasn't very powerful at all. A Mac Mini. I don't think it would be powerful enough to stream on it, or at least not for a long time.
Yeah, but the new ones, they've got the M3 chip in, so it's the same motherboard as in your MacBook, so it's identical.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah.
So anyway, so I've been doing that. I've also I got a little trade on BLOFIN. It's only like a few $100 though, so that's not really worth talking about. But I've also been because I kind of like to play with other exchanges as well. So I've got a little one on BitGet as well. This is that's all right. That's 34% in profit, $628. So that's good. So that's a Mac Mini. So
yeah.
Anyway.
That's it. It's right there for you, isn't it? You've earned that through that trade.
Yeah, and but I just wanted to say that because I've got like a Telegram group where there's not that many of us in there. There's only about 20 people, but I've noticed there's some guys in there who've they got caught out by the big dumps, and they've been long, and they've been wiped out, and they haven't got any money now, and I just thought I'd try and make the point that it doesn't matter if you lose a little bit of money, because you can earn it back. If you lose all your money, though, you can't make money out of nothing. You need to accept losses, and like even with Stonksy, you're going to make the odd sort of like loss, aren't you? Because it's not 100% perfect, but the idea is over time, you will earn more than you lose, and hopefully it'll be significantly more. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's it. You got to have money to make money, haven't you? That's the key. And if you lose all your money, and then you've got no money to make any more money, pretty much.
Yeah, cool. Should we have a look at the comments?
Yes, we will. I'm just going to put a poll in for US Open. And then we'll get that going. Let's see what everyone thinks, up or down. There we go. That poll is now on for everyone. If you want to go and take a vote on that, that'll be great. Let's see what we've got going in the comments. Not too many. If you do want us to take a look at anything now that Saver Crypto, and do make sure before you do anything else, check them links in the description. You'll find Saver Crypto's X and YouTube links, or you can just type in his name on both. Make sure to go and drop him a follow on both platforms, and show him some love. What you're seeing there in that little interval is something that he does on a daily basis, post daily videos. So yeah, do make sure you go and show him some love on both platforms. Give him a follow on both, and he would most definitely appreciate it. And yeah, put some great content together, don't you, mate?
Well, I think so. No, I do actually. A lot of people like the fact that I'm quite honest about things, and I haven't got a particular agenda. I mean, I think we all have an agenda. I mean, obviously, what I want people to do is use my links for my exchanges, because that earns a little bit of regular money, and that's what I think everyone should try and have a little bit of regular money at the moment. So, my regular work has pretty much dried up, and I don't really do that anymore. So I want to just concentrate on being full-time YouTube, which is why I've been doing things like working on the website. So I've put all my links together, and I've got articles there and all that kind of stuff. And I just want to be full-time YouTube now, because I love it.
Yeah.
Whether that be collaborations with you, or or stuff I do on my own, or whatever. I just love it all, really. I think it's great. I think it's a really nice industry. It's a bit weird, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to just fully immerse yourself in, isn't it? And yeah, like you say, just to be able to do it, and you've definitely got the skills to be a full-time trader as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not? Why not try and make a go of it?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think everyone knows that I'm quite old, so I have no interest in a normal job anymore. In fact, I've not actually had a real job since 1996, actually. But I've always been like working online, or I've been a bass player in a band, or whatever. Anyway, just looking at it, I quite like it here. Some people I recognise from the live streams I've done. I did a few live streams over the weekend just to sort of try out the system, sort of thing. I'm struggling a little bit with this computer, so I think I might have to change that sooner rather than later. But anyway, Coding Crypto Fitness, he was one of the people. By the way, I always say he because I assume that 99% of my audience is like male for some reason. I wish it wasn't, but unfortunately it is. But Coding Crypto Fitness, he said, just get a good laptop that you only trade on. I think that's a really good idea. I used to think it didn't matter, but now, now I've heard of a lot of like scams and stuff like that. And I just think, you shouldn't really be trading on something that you use for your, Facebook and social stuff and emails. And I think in a way you should just have something separate with separate accounts. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that this week, I think. So it's my birthday next month, so maybe I'll buy myself a nice birthday present because nobody else will. Anyway, so Lee Scotty said, "Who's got Stonksy and who's making money from it, or the bot?" I heard. Well, I'm making money with Stonksy, that's for sure. But I must admit, I am using it in conjunction with things I was using anyway. But I believe people are making money with Stonksy. Do you think so, Dave?
Yeah, definitely. I think the bot is in. I think the bot's in a long trade. I think at the moment.
Actually, my mate who was trying to get me on the phone there earlier, he signed up for the bot yesterday, and yeah, he said it took a trade yesterday and it's currently 10% up. So that's cool. So that's good.
Oh, there we go then. Fantastic.
I
haven't checked it this morning yet, so I knew it was. I seen someone in the Discord say it had triggered, but I haven't checked it on the account that I follow it on, so I wasn't sure where it was up to. But that's good to hear.
Yeah, actually, while you're there, Dave, I don't know if this is a question for you or if it's a question for SMFC, but the guy in question, I think you'd know who it is because he was having a problem with his whitelisting yesterday. But
okay.
But he was put off at first because he was looking at it on BLOFIN and it said like annualized ROI was minus 69% or something. Isn't that because there was a lot of testing involved in that period? Is that why that is?
Yeah, so someone asked that SMFC in the, I think it was in general yesterday. about that. And yeah, he explained what it was. A lot of it was to do with the testing and stuff because it's on the same account that was used during the testing and the development.
Right.
But yeah, hopefully with obviously a good few more trades like it's currently in, that will then be turned around to like a real representative figure. So, but yeah, that's why that is showing that. Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing he was asking me about, he was saying, well, it's only got a win rate of 49% or 48%, and he was thinking that meant that it loses, well, in the way that it loses 48% of the trades, and you end up with no money. And I didn't actually have the data to explain it to him, but what I was hinting at was the fact that you don't actually have to have like 51% of trades winning to be overall profitable. You just need it so that the losing trades are smaller than the winning trades. And and I don't know if you want to embellish on that at all.
Yeah, you've also got to account for like break-even trades as well, haven't you? Ones that come down and maybe you just lose fees on them, or something which, again, probably technically counts as a losing trade. But if you only lose fees, it's not really anything much, is it? But yeah, I mean, ideally, the higher the number, the better. But like you said, it's not kind of like a true representation on what might actually be going on.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, I'm glad you filled it in on that, because yeah, I know when you look at the numbers, it doesn't look amazing. And to be honest, I've looked at copy trading before, and I've even tried doing some copy trading on Bybit about 2 years ago. And the temptation is to go for the ones who've got like a 99% win rate and stuff like that. And they are the worst ones, because what they'll do loads and loads of really good trades, make you great gains, and then they'll liquidate your whole account.
Mm-hmm.
And so
yeah,
so their 99% win rate was complete bollocks, really. It's like, yes, that's okay, but then you lose it all.
Yeah, and what you got to be careful with them ones is, especially the ones with like that have got quite a lot of people following them. If you don't know who they are and stuff like that, is all it takes them to do is maybe place a trade on the most illiquid altcoin on the exchange, and then obviously they get in first, and then it just kind of goes down in the order, then, doesn't it? So then the people that are like at the bottom of the list are the last ones opening. Then when it comes to the time of them opening theirs, it's already gone through everyone opening it, and then it's already pumped up. So yeah, you've got to be careful on the ones where you don't know who's running it for that reason as well, because they can pretty much just try and trade the most illiquid one, use everyone else to pump it, and then obviously they end up getting out.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And there's
a reason to be wary of it if you don't know who it is and you don't know what it's trading and how it's trading it. So when you see them ones on like the copy trade leaderboard and stuff like that, yeah, it's not like suddenly you just follow a random dude and you're gonna start making loads of money. It can be a recipe for potential disaster. So yeah, much better to follow the Stonksy bot.
Yeah, there's also a problem as well. Not a problem, but one of the things about it is the people who are doing the copy trading, they make a percentage out of every trade. So that's how they get their income. Obviously, the more followers they've got, the more income they're going to get. So to be popular, they need to be on the front page on that leaderboard. Now they're going to get on that leaderboard by having a really high win rate, and you can do that. I mean, I could do that. I could do 99 trades this week, and win them all and only lose one, but I'd probably, each one would be tiny. You'd be like talking like, if it's like 1% profit, okay, I'll bag that one, and that can be my winning trade. And these exchanges will just count that as being a winning trade, even though you might have not made any money because it was so tiny. And that will make you show up on the leaderboard. I think you also might have to have something else as well, like trading volume or something. But essentially that kind of thing, just by kind of fudging those metrics to get you on the leaderboard, puts you there. But it doesn't actually mean you're any good. So there's that to bear in mind as well. So, don't go for the top 3. That's the mistake I made when I tried it years ago. And I mean, I started off. I can't remember the actual figures now, but I think I started off with about $200, and I got it up to about 5,000, and then one trade just wiped it all out, and that was $5,000 gone. I mean, I didn't feel too bad because I only started off with 200, but I was thinking like, that was $5,000 a minute ago, and it just went like that.
Yeah.
So so don't get fooled by the win rates and the ROI on the Stonksy bot, is because it involves months, years of testing, doesn't it? So yeah, cool.
Yeah, it involves all the testing that Dean was doing, obviously leading up to the release.
Okay, yeah, I just look at the comments actually, sort of. Lee Scully, he's a guy from my lot, I think. So he also said, because Reggie Man hasn't made anything yet. Okay. Coding Crypto Fitness says life-changing if you can stay consistent and keep compounding. That's the other thing as well. And that's one of the things I'm thinking with this current trade, actually, is I need to not get precious about hanging on to it just because it's got a good entry. At some point, I will close it, and then I'll look for the next trade as well. Because, now I've gone from having like $800 to 6,000. My next trade can be bigger, and it doesn't mean that I have to hold on to that trade for ages now. So, if there's something coming up, like say the thing on Friday, when we might get another $10,000 candle going red, maybe, if something like that happens, then I don't want to be holding on to that big trade, and I won't. That's the other thing, to not feel bad about taking profit. Just take your profit and look for next opportunity. Yeah. I think that's a good thing I need to learn as well. That's probably my next lesson. But what Lee was saying here, which caught my eye, he said, wish I could come on your stream one day and show you ALCM, anti-liquidation countermeasure, Dave. Too long to explain by typing out. Would that be a possibility? Could we get Lee on to explain that one day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I'd like to know exactly what it is, because I did see that comment, so it sounds interesting. Okay. He said it's too long to explain, but it would be interesting to know what it involves and exactly what it is. But yeah, I don't see why not. We can definitely get other people in the community up.
Yeah. So maybe if Lee's in the Discord, we could we can discuss it there and or whatever. Or if you want to talk to me first, then I think you've got access to me, so we can talk about that there, and I'll tell you, Dave, if I think it's worth talking about, or if he's just trying to shed his own product. I don't think he is.
Yeah.
Venelin was saying,
that sounds good to me. Let's do it.
Yeah. Venelin was saying, "Oh, great walkthrough." Oh, thank you.
Well, you got Justin saying fact. I can't remember what that was too, but I'm sure it was something interesting that we were talking about.
I think you might have been saying
we got Wiz. Yeah. We got Wiz. Good afternoon to you, mate. How's things?
Wiz.
Got Reggie Man. That is my big problem. Saber Crypto. I don't know when to let go of a trade because it's a good entry. It can be a difficult thing to try and when it is enough, but
I have a good
there's
answer for
ways
that.
that you can. Yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, well, two things really. There's one that Block Pro. He's one of the traders in the crypto saving expert. One thing he said if you look at your account and you think, "Fuck, that's a lot of money," close your trade.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the other thing is if you feel the urge to, get one of those little sticker things showing you how much profit you've made, if you get the urge to put that on, a trading group or a Discord or a Telegram or something to show people, and you haven't closed a trade, close the trade and then do it.
yeah.
And I've done that before as well. I've said, "Oh, look, I'm like 400% in profit," and then they get a big red candle, and then it's all gone, and that's it really. So yeah, so
There's a few ways. Yeah, there's a few ways that you can kind of help yourself out with it. Mostly, yeah, just looking at levels of interest and then just trading around them is what obviously one of the main ones. But yeah, I think the one that you said where sometimes if you look at it and you go, "Oh, that's looking really nice," that then maybe that's a bit of a warning sign to say this could go south. And you can easily put like a trailing stop on it, move the stop into profit, whatever it may be. You can easily take precautions, can't you?
Yeah. Anyway, Dave, there's something I was going to talk to you about. It was so this thing that's happening on Friday. What's it? The Crypto Council, Washington.
Yeah, the crypto conference in the White House.
Right. What do you reckon that's going to do to the price?
I think it's probably going to pump into it. Maybe get a spike when they say something interesting, and then probably retrace after it. Is what I would say. It just seems like a typical recipe done it for a sell the news event. It just seems like that is a cocktail for it. I mean, how if we do get a pump into it, how high it will go is another question, or how high could it spike during it? I think maybe depends on what they say, because now we know anything could come out of Trump's mouth, so we don't know really what to expect. Literally, they could say anything, couldn't they? They could say anything. So yeah, but in terms of just the general thing, I think probably pump into it, maybe pump during it, and then I would expect a drop off afterwards. Standard procedure, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. I was trying to think what the worst thing that could happen, my only worry is they had that thing the other week, that thing where them old blokes sort of got together and talked about stuff, and it was embarrassing. It was like no one had a clue.
It was pointless, wasn't it?
Yeah, no one had a clue what they were talking about, and they were just there licking each other's asses, and it was just like it was embarrassing, really. It was like, is that the best they can do? It's like it's just rubbish, really. But the thing is, the only thing they ever mentioned, whether we talked about, was stable coins. So it's almost like, so what's going to be the most important thing they're going to talk about? They're probably going to talk about stable coins, aren't they? So at which point, I don't know, I can almost see the sort of moronic population say, right, we need to get USDT now, so let's sell our Bitcoin. I don't know. So, something stupid like that. I think it's got to be that, or maybe they bring out another shit coin or something.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd imagine there'll be a few different aspects. They'll obviously cover the reserve. I think one of the topics they'll probably say is, so all the Bitcoin that the US government has, there's obviously a portion of it that they have access to, and then a portion of it that's still sort of like under wraps where they're not allowed to touch it. There's obviously, I think there's about 70,000 Bitcoin that now legally the government can do whatever they want with out of the 200,000 that it has seized. So I think probably maybe one of the first actions will be, we don't actually have to buy maybe anything straight away. You can just put that 70,000 Bitcoin into the reserve straight away. because you know they don't even have to pass anything to buy. They don't have to buy anything. Trump could just say, right, that Bitcoin is now like not up for negotiation in terms of like selling or whatever. We're going to lock that away. That's part of the reserve from the get go. So I think that's one potential that they might say. They could throw 70,000 Bitcoin straight into the reserve, no issues about this. Maybe some sort of review thing, because obviously a lot of people won't agree on the fact that you need ADA, XRP, and Solana and stuff like that in this reserve. A lot of people are obviously going to say, well, just Bitcoin. So maybe they'll put something out about how they're going to determine exactly what goes in it for definite and what they're going to put through Congress to pass. Then, probably stable coins. They'll maybe mention stable coins. And then I think tax is maybe one thing that they'll cover as well. So I think there'll be definitely a few different aspects to it. But I expect the typical pattern, isn't it? Is pump, spike, like liquidation to the upside, and then sell off. Unless he says something absolutely out of left field that the market just isn't pricing in, or maybe isn't even thinking about. If he comes out and says, right, the US is going to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin every single day, then obviously that's a pretty big deal. So in the scenario that he says something completely, which now we know what to expect with Trump, is kind of we don't know what to expect. So there is, I don't think they'll do that, but that is one possible scenario where you could say, okay, maybe we don't get the sell off. If that's the case, where they come out and just say we're actually going to just start buying ungodly amounts of Bitcoin off the market, then that is obviously. I expect that they'll probably just come out and say, this is the plan, this is what we're going to be going with. And the main thing the market is wondering now is, when are they going to start buying? By how much are they going to start buying, and how often? Because then that will obviously be then the rebalancing of price in the market is accounting for whatever may come next. So, like I said, then if they say we're going to buy this amount of Bitcoin this often, or we're going to buy this amount of Ethereum this often, or we want to get to this amount of Bitcoin, it all holders of Bitcoin. Is the US going to want to hold more Bitcoin than MicroStrategy? MicroStrategy holds half a million Bitcoin, doesn't it? You would imagine that you can't, if you've got a strategic Bitcoin reserve, you can't have a company holding more Bitcoin than the actual country itself that is the reserve. So it seems like a lot of different working parts, and it's like a cocktail for who knows whatever we could get. But I do probably expect the typical pump and then sell the news event. What do you think?
I honestly don't know, actually. I'm almost thinking now that I don't know really. The problem is these days it's like with this news-driven stuff, everyone's thinking, oh, that's what's going to happen, and then there's people like me and you going, okay, well, what will probably happen is that because of that. So like kind of the opposite of what everyone's thinking, and then there must be people thinking the opposite of that. So I think the stuff being priced in is obviously that's. I quite liked what you said yesterday when you were talking about Elon Musk and the fact that when he first said he was going to that you could buy Teslas with Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin shot up like about 20% or something, didn't it? Back in February 2020, I think it was, wasn't it? Something like that.
2021.
2021. Yeah. I think it was actually my eldest daughter's birthday actually that day, and it was like, and I was thinking like, God, I've been a bit mean with her birthday present, and I I think I made about 24 grand on a trade that day. It was my first really mental win. It's like, it was amazing. It was. And 24 grand back then, I think, was about 0.6 of a Bitcoin. So that was amazing.
Yeah.
But the point is, we used to say stuff like that or do stuff like that. It used to have a massive effect. And then now he says something and everyone just ignores it, And I think it's going to get like that with Trump, isn't it? Although, to be honest, it doesn't seem to have to do much to make people really respond to it. I mean, that big candle thing on Sunday, that was just mad, wasn't it? Why the hell was it on Sunday anyway? Like, what was the point? Well, obviously the point was like it was just retail at home with Coinbase or whatever it was, wasn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I think they did it on purpose for that reason. I think even Eric Trump come out and said, there's no TradFi markets open on a day like this. So yeah, we got Justin saying he hears that Sol season is going to be part of the strategic reserve. You'd love to see it, wouldn't you? You'd love to see it. I think the way that you're thinking of, Dave, is 100% sketchy.
Well, to be honest,
won't it? And we got Wizzo saying Trump has been loading up.
Yeah,
what, mate?
I can't see why the bloody hell they've got Cardano in there. It's like, that's like, it's a centralized coin, isn't it? It's like, there's nothing crypto about Cardano, is there, as far as I know? But I don't know. Maybe I've got that wrong, But yeah,
I think the choice of them has basically come from the people that have pretty much just like tried to worm the way in, isn't it? I think Charles Hoskinson has been one of the people that has been given input. Same for Brad Garlinghouse. So it's kind of just like, obviously they've probably put forward their own coin, and I think that's probably where it's come from. Alongside them being US home. So
yeah, we got
it's odd, and I don't think it doesn't really make much sense to put them in there. I mean, even ETH, you wouldn't really even want to put ETH in there, would you? I mean, what sort of bolstering power does that have? The price is constantly underperforming and in the toilet. So yeah, but who knows? Who knows?
I didn't really understand Ethereum really. You got like Vitalik, he's like a sort of Russian Canadian. It's like, I thought that's two countries that Trump has a problem with, so not really the most American crypto at all, is it? I don't know. We got RN saying that Trump will go all in on Fartcoin. I think they ought to get Melania and sort of rename it as the official fart or something. Jordan's got a good point here, actually. Hello, by the way. It's saying the vote is quite split today, isn't it? Look, we've got 54% up and 46% down. That's quite amazing. Anyway, where's his closed octa?
It was in the favour of down as well when I last checked. So that seems to have switched.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But you see on me thingies here, you see that what's happened now. 10 minutes to go, and so that yellow has crossed the green on the 2-hour time frame here, right? So that's normally quite bullish, but it's done what I said. It kind of pulls back a little bit as that crosses over. And here on the 3-minute, Stonksy is actually red there. Now that's kind of what I would have expected to happen.
Yeah.
But I think, I shouldn't really say what I think, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a pump, but we maybe have a little bit of a dump in the first 30 minutes, and then we see a pump in the afternoon. Anyway,
yeah,
just have a quick look at my trade. So this is all right.
Veggieman says the news on Sunday was co-coordinated. So that Trump and Co can load up, then set massive short, knowing the price. Well, that's pretty much exactly what that hyperliquid address was doing, wasn't it? That everyone was looking at. It loaded up beforehand and then shorted, and then obviously the price tanked. We'll say that ETH is probably the most strategic asset in terms of the ecosystem. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously the only issue with it is obviously the state of the network, isn't it? But apart from that, it's a lot more. Would you say it's a lot more clean than Solana? But then again, would ETH be having all this crime on it if it was actually usable? Maybe. Who knows? I mean, who put 40? Oh yeah, Bitcoin, most important store of value, but the most decentralized industrial use cases will be built on ETH. We got Abdullah Mek saying, I think we're dropping down to 87k before I push up. The Street Reserve stuff is surely a sell the news event similar to ETF. That's what we was talking about then. I've opened a 10,000 Bitcoin short. 10,000 Bitcoin.
Who has?
What's that then? TMG. It says open. So what's that in dollar value? 10,000 times, just call it 90,000. For
No, surely not.
what is that? What is it in? Let's see what it is in dollar value. 10,000 times 90,000 is a $900 million. $900 million short.
Right. Yeah, well done.
That is crazy. So
okay.
I don't know. Are you playing with 1,000x leverage there, or I don't know?
I'm just wondering what to do. What to do with this into the open. So I've got this. I've got this trading stop loss set here. I got that stop loss there. Yeah. So I wonder why Abdul Malek thinks it will drop down to 87. Why does he think it will drop down to 87? Might do.
We are at quite an interesting point on the chart as well. Really, when you look at it, it's quite the interesting point where there's been a lot of SR around it in this kind of zone. If you take a look,
do you want to show your chart? In fact, do you want to get your chart ready for the open, like what you do normally?
Yeah, I can do. Let me put mine back on. By the
way, I'm going to have to shoot off shortly after the open because I have to go and get my daughter.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries at all. Yeah, kind of key SR point in it. Obviously, over here we had this local resistance form here. Then after this push up, as you can see, it came down. That's where price halted there, and then we stopped here, and then have held again here. So this kind of zone here has been quite key recently, obviously for the past week or so, in terms of where price has halted both directions. So it's at quite an interesting point. That was what I was looking at while you were sharing yours, because I was interested to see where this candle closed. Because obviously Bitcoin came down and then it's stopped here again. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens with it.
Okay. Is there any news or anything today?
Let's take a look. Actually maybe we do have something today. I feel like we do have.
Yeah, I've got a feeling.
I know we've got NFP on Friday. We got non-farm payrolls on Friday. But I think there is something, but it might have already been. It would have been, I imagine it would have been at 1:30 if there was anything. Let's see. ADP employment change it was. So that has been and gone. Oh, we got ISM services at 3:00 as well. So that is another high impact one. But then, yeah, the big one obviously on Friday, we've got non-farm payrolls. Then we've got Powell speaking as well, 5:30 US UTC, and then obviously somewhere, I don't know what time it is, we've got this conference at the White House. So quite the cram day Friday. A cocktail for big volatility. There's my hype trade that's still open.
Okay.
But yeah, let's see. So let's have a look at what did the poll finish on? Let's see.
55% up.
55% up. So we'll end that there now. So we will close that out, and we'll get the setup ready for US Open. TMG says, I'm very conflicted on the direction, to be honest. I think we just keep getting chopped up. Yeah, it's just liquidity games, isn't it, at the moment, and just seeing how many positions they can just keep ruining. Liquidations at 86,200, says 41A. You can close your profitable Stonksy long positions that it triggered on the auto trading bot if you don't want to risk. Yeah, you can do. You can close the copy trade positions on your own if you want to.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually, because at the moment, I would say that generally particularly with the longs with Stonksy, normally the best time, there's normally a better time to close it than what it closes at. It normally, I don't know. I was wondering if there's some way. Is there any way? Because I haven't played with it yet. Is there any way to sort of say, when it's 10% up, close it, or is there any way to do that?
Yeah, I think you can. I think you can set. So I think we have it set for obviously what the bot follows in terms of take profit and stop loss in terms of percentage. But I think you can set it as well in there as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, sorry. I think the only one I'm gonna have to get. We're better off with obviously SMFC explaining this. Yeah. So I don't want to say something that's not correct, but I know for a fact that in the settings you can set it yourself in terms of percentage for both sides if you want to, as sort of like a manual thing after the trade has been triggered. Could you send us that website? It was FX Street. So just type in on Google, FX Street. TMG saying, ring the bell. It's not open yet. We've still got another 27 seconds to go. It's not open yet.
You could boil an egg. No, you couldn't.
We've still got another 27 seconds to go. So we will ring it in a second. Let me just split it. Let's get it split. Got 9. Let's get the S&P 500 over there. There we go. And 3, 2, 1. There we go. We are open for business, aren't we? We'll see what sort of funny business we're going to get. Yeah, obviously the S&P 500 had a bit of a resurgence yesterday, but seems to have retraced it pre-market leading up today. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, if we get a push up on the S&P, it's going to give Bitcoin a decent amount of room to potentially run higher, which is what we need to give it at least some runway without obstacles. So ideally, that's what we want. We want a strong day on the stock market. Dave, what did I miss? Can you recap, please? So today we've mostly been looking at, obviously, Saber Crypto's been running through his recent thought process in terms of trading, looking at some of his trades that he's been took, why he took them. So that was a really good section. So do make sure you go and check that out. And if you've only just joined at the end of the stream, go back. And it was just after the start of the stream when Saber Crypto took the helm and was obviously showing how he's been able to make profit in the market over the past week. And obviously but both sides really, wasn't it? You made a mistake at first, but then rectified it and then made, several times more money. by doing that. So do make sure you go and check it out if you missed it. It was a great, good segment at the start, and well worth going back and watching after the stream's finished.
Yeah, I must admit, it was quite good because I actually thought, I should stop talking about this stuff and actually put my own thoughts into practice, and it was really good just to sort of like, be able to sort of dig myself out of that hole and actually go from feeling really bad that I'd like, lost a load of money to sort of gaining it back and then going beyond. It was really nice actually, and it was a pleasure to explain it. So yeah, do check it out if you missed that bit. I'm unfortunately going to have to go soon.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And do make sure. Yeah, no worries, mate. And big thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have you on a Wednesday. And for anyone who hasn't yet, you can find Save with Crypto's links in the description, or if you just type his name in, Save with Crypto on YouTube and X, go and give him a follow on both and show him some big love.
Thank you very much. All right, and you can find everything. You can find everything as well, but on my new website, which is savewithcrypto.org. Okay, and I'll say goodbye, and yeah, good luck everyone, and thanks very much, and I'll see you next Wednesday. That was the 3 minutes saying it's gone red. Right, and I'll see you next Wednesday, if not before. All right, take care, Dave. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye, mate. See you later. Thank you for coming on again. And that was Save with Crypto. So yeah, always a pleasure. Never a chore on a Wednesday. Great to have him on. Ring the damn bell. I did ring the bell. I rang it bang on time. Looking for entries on Avgo today ahead of earnings tomorrow. And we have got Wizard. We've got the Wizard on the stream tomorrow as well, which is always fun. We've got Steve saying, yeah, I will, thanks. So yeah, do make sure you go and check that out. But what are we getting on Bitcoin? Obviously, the first 3 minutes have been down. We've chugged a little bit down. The S&P 500 has just been a little bit choppy. But Bitcoin is kind of holding at this very low time frame level where it's held. So let's see what we get today on that. But so far, not too much action. Not too much action so far. Let's take a look to see what the 1 hour's doing. Oh, that was on that one. So that's the 1 hour on the S&P. And as you can see, this is what I mentioned before. Yesterday, we got some good relief, and then we got this absolute wild candle on the close. And then it recovered after hours. But on Bitcoin, we are looking like it's selling off. Potentially, yeah, we're coming down. So, where are you looking? Oh, let me know in the chat. What are you looking at? Are you feeling like we're going to continue the green day? Are we going to shift into a red day? What is your thoughts on the current state of the market? Right now, I'm in the hills, getting a chill with 4 of my bros. Well, enjoy that, mate. That sounds very, very nice. What a nice way to spend the day. Do make sure you get them to sign up sign up to Stonksy. That would be good as well. But make sure you tell them to subscribe to the channel. Get them to type in, and that reminds anyone else who's watching at the moment who hasn't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd like to think all of you are, but yeah, do make sure you drop me a subscribe if you haven't. We've got TMG saying, Dave, can we run through all the altcoins on your list at the side of the screen? I want a market overview on the 1 hour chart. Do like 20 or 30 then. Just quick analysis. Could you even use it for Issa to make a clip? Yeah, Issa has been making the clips as well. I've been posting them on X. So whenever he's had them ready, we've been posting them out. I was going to post them as YouTube Shorts, but because they're not vertical, you can't post them. I was planning on posting them as YouTube Shorts. Oh, that's the one at the moment. But yeah, I've been posting them out every day when they're done. So they've been going out on the Twitter. Right, what are we doing now? Right, so let's go back to a 1 window screen And yeah, let's have a look. So what are we getting on Bitcoin at the moment? We obviously are still in the Stonksy green background from below $87,000 running up. And we have retraced after hitting just below $91,000. US Open, we're currently getting a sell-off in the first 7 minutes as it stands, coming back down and near fully retracing this candle that we got to the upside this morning. In terms of ETH, pretty much the same story. Had a nice run up, coming back down, but it did have a really good close yesterday and price action around this key high time frame $2,100 level. If we take a look at the daily, as you can see, on a high time frame, this level is key. And each time we've come into contact with it the past couple of times, we've dropped below, but key on the daily, we've closed above. And yeah, that was a nice candle on the daily for ETH yesterday. XRP, it's held up really well, to be honest, XRP. In terms of everything else, it's pretty much held within its range, kind of a bit like Litecoin. Held nicely in its range, not really dropped down too much at all. Solana, kind of still trading between its two levels. So 125, key high time frame level to hold. 160 is what we want to see it gain. BNB is an interesting one, isn't it? We've obviously still got the diagonal resistance that it needs to break that we covered, I think, last week on stream. And yeah, obviously had some relief alongside the rest of the market. Doge, again, is another one. It's an interesting point on the daily. So let's go and have a look at that. Let's just turn Stonksy off for a second. So on the daily, it's at this little interruption here, holding quite nicely as well. We do have a zone of interest to the downside, but at the moment, it's, as you can see, getting some nice absorption and buying pressure coming in around this zone. So it is the perfect zone for it to potentially bounce from if the market can get some momentum, that is. ADA is one of the stronger coins at the moment. So obviously had a huge pump the other day when we got the reaction from the Trump news around the strategic reserve. It was the biggest gainer out of all the coins mentioned, but again came into key resistance and failed and then sold off, but didn't sell off as much as others. It's held up quite well and is been one of the stronger ones, just the overall altcoins. Tron is pretty much holding up on kind of on its own, not really going with the market at all, kind of just consolidating in the range. It's got daily support down here where it's holding, and as you can see, it's pretty much just compressing at the moment. Link is an interesting one, something that we've obviously covered recently on stream. And as you can see here, we've got 3 levels of interest that I think are quite key to Link. And as you can see yesterday, it pretty much nearly bang on came down and tested this level, and then we got a good reaction from it. Now it's looking to hold above the one just above $15 for potentially a run up towards 19 if the market gives the green light. So that's where we're looking at Link. Not too bad at all, and up 5% today as well. AVAX is once again testing that high time frame level. As you can see, the importance of it in holding it here. We don't want to see it drop below unless you're looking to buy down here. But yeah, so far so good. Again, tested it yesterday on the daily, closed above, and today tested it again and has bounced nicely. Sui is testing this zone again here. Obviously, this was resistance on this liquidation candle. We came down, tested it pretty much bang on the nose, bounced. So that was a nice SR test. And again, yesterday came down, tested it, closed above. So yeah, if the market shows more weakness, so we could trade back into this range where it did previously. But until then, it looks like it's holding here. XLM, a bit of a funny one, isn't it? Obviously followed XRP's strength, but has been gradually selling off. Looks like it's within a downwards channel and hasn't really approached any kind of level of interest in terms of to the downside from the move up. So that one maybe just continues to slowly bleed, trading within its channel. Litecoin is, again, like I mentioned previously, one of the ones that's out there on its own. It's currently just trading in a nice range that it has been since December. And again, came down and tested the range low yesterday and held nicely. So yeah, clear daily support and resistance on Litecoin. If it loses support, we'll probably look maybe to trade back down towards $80. And then if it breaks resistance, potentially up to 165. Toncoin, I don't think we've got too much because I'm using the Binance chart, so I need to replace that, but I haven't got anything to look for to the left on that one, unfortunately. H-bar got a nice pump yesterday, and as you can see, it is looking to combat this level of resistance here to potentially reopen this to trade back up towards 31, 32 cents. Hyperliquid is obviously fell out of its previous trading range, and is currently potentially in no man's land, but it's came in and filled in this inefficiency that was left behind on the move up. Maybe trades into here, but that remains to be seen. But for now, it's looking like it's maybe trying to locate some form of support. DOT is an interesting one because obviously it's approached its cycle lows, as you can see here. It adds its own little trading range here, from support to resistance. Fell out of it yesterday. It looks like it's came back up today and so far has rejected off it, so maybe closes back below again. If it does, maybe it trades to fill in this wick, which it hasn't yet, back down towards below $4. OM's in a league of its own, has been doing its own thing for quite a while now, but again, it's holding support on the daily, so you wouldn't rule out another impulse move up, maybe towards $10 on OM. Kind of just does its own thing when it wants to. What's another interesting one? Jupiter has obviously lost its range, so it had this high time frame trading range for almost a year. You can split it up into two ranges as well, as you can see. Put a level right in the middle, and it splits it nicely to where it finds support and resistance inside the wider range, but has fell out and closed below. So we're currently testing, it looks like, this little consolidation here, which we could bounce from, but then we have got this previous trading range down here as well. So something to watch out for on Duke, maybe, is a reclaim of the range, or at least maybe it looking like it's forming a nice area to bounce from. What else have we got to look at? Let's see what is interesting. We've got Jasmy, is another one that we've looked at on stream a lot. Still remaining at high time frame support with this lower box, and it still remains in its falling wedge as well. Still riding this lower trend line. So, potentially when the market shows wider strength, this is maybe one to watch out for a break to the upside. We got Say again at high time frame support, still holding there. And again, another test yesterday on the daily and held. So still support until broken and potentially a good place to bounce from. And let's pick one more. What shall we have? Let's see. What shall we pick? Should we pick OP? Because I know that was previous one that we looked at. So OP kind of flipped this zone to resistance, hasn't it? And it's currently looking like it's maybe trading lower. Not really finding much strength, while ETH's not finding strength in the market. So that's a nice little roundup of what's happening at the moment. What's happening with Bitcoin? Not really anything. Let's see. Oh, we're all right, aren't we? We're all right on Bitcoin. Came down to 88.4, but has bounced nicely now. I don't think that looks... that's not a bad... And as you can see as well, it's still respecting this zone that we talked about before as well. Standard poop. We've made 4 litres of alcohol. Wow, enjoy. Who uses the project? I've never heard of it. Unfortunately. The bet is always in the US Open. Not too bad absorption on it though now. So today we've made a tub, 2 lemon vodkas, 3 litres of most expensive wine we could find here, 9 gin and tonics, kilo of apples, very nice, and a barbecue ready. Sounds like a great day to me. Wearing Burberry sunglasses. You're not streaming, you're just reading the charts. Mate, you've not even been here from the start, so you've missed the whole stream for 1, and 2, I'm doing exactly what Jordan requested me to do. So, yeah, you get back to your camping, you. Pi, we could have a look at that. Dumping Cummins says 41A. Let's have a look to see what Pi is doing, and we'll have a look at Kato as well, the two newly launched ones. So Pi did come in. I don't know if anyone remembers, but last week we were talking about it potentially retesting here, which it did, and it looks like, yeah, it's confirmed a nice little flip to support. So far, got a nice bounce. I think the real test will be when it comes up toward, if it gets back up towards this like 230 to 240 region. So yeah, that's where we're at with Kato. And Kato, one of the stronger ones, got a deep retrace, didn't it? All the way back down here, and as you can see, it kind of tested where it found a bottom on this move again. But yeah, strong impulse move yesterday and holding up well. But as you can see, we've formed this quite clear now. Oh, let's make that a little bit smaller. This quite clear SR, resistance all along here, breakthrough, test for support, bounced, and then fell through. And again, we've found resistance here. So yeah, needs to break above around the 194-ish. Needs to break above that convincingly. And obviously flip it back to support like here. And then maybe then unlock the route towards 230, 240 again. But yeah, we are selling off, aren't we? On oh, what's that doing? Oh, it's gone off. My BLOFIN's gone off. Why has it done that? Let me just do something. I knew I should have closed this hype trade before. I've retraced a lot of the gains, which is really annoying. I was at a decent unrealized profit, but for the account that I've got on. But it looks like it's going to come down and maybe take me out at break even or a small loss, which is very, very annoying. I was looking at it as well, and I was thinking, I should probably take profit there, which indeed I should have. So yeah, that's very annoying on hype. Where are we on hype? Yeah. Yes, very, very annoying. Very annoying on hype. But that's where we are, isn't it? That's where we are. So yeah, not much we can do. We need Bitcoin strength, don't we? Over and we're getting Bitcoin weakness into the open. So yeah, are we maybe going to come back down to this region here? Will we? Who knows? But yet another sell-off at US Open. It's not really playing ball, is it, at all? So, yeah, that's where we're at anyway. Let's take that off. But yeah, we'll see what we get. But what is everyone? Is anyone in a trade at the moment? Did anyone maybe short the move up towards 91? What is everyone doing at the moment? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. But yeah, I imagine that most of the market looks exactly the same. Seeing a dip again, a dippity dip. But will it be short-lived? Is this just a washout? Have we took that liquid? I don't know if we've swept that properly or not. I can't tell. Damn. So, wow, really? 130 million? That's insane. Short on Sol at the moment, says another Dave. Very good, mate. Very good. Hopefully you're banking some profits. Do make sure you drop a like on a stream anyway and subscribe. Very much appreciated. Does help the channel out in trying to reach more people. And yeah, very, very much appreciated. So Reggie Man in many trades, getting depressed at making gains in the UK morning and through to open, then getting shut on. Well, potentially, mate. That's something for maybe to look at. In it is if you're in a profit, maybe just close it into the open or close half of it. You know, maybe take half the profits and leave half as runners or whatever. Close 75%. Maybe if you're seeing a consistent pattern there, you know what to do about it. Gold Sniper, I'm in a small long on Bitcoin. We have had quite a nice wipeout there, haven't we? We've had quite a nice wipeout into the open and a nice, decent little reversal. So is that just, again, you know, the open going for liquidity and to take people out? Are we maybe going to continue on upwards today? I don't know. How do I short my trust in the US economy? Well, technically, you know, technically speaking, you could probably just short the S&P 500 then, couldn't you? I imagine. Guaranteed the time I do we lift off. I did, mate. Honestly, I feel you. That would be so typical, wouldn't it? Turned red on the hourly. Oh yeah, I forgot to put Stonksy back on, didn't I? Have we? Turned red on the hourly. I can't see that we have on any chart. If we have, that's interesting, but I can't see that we have. Wouldn't it be nice to get a pump? Wouldn't it be nice to get a pump back and towards and back test the height of the Trump pump? Wouldn't it be nice to have a little continuation on this chart today? That most certainly would be nice. How do I long Norway economy? Mate, you're asking me some mad questions here. I don't know. Maybe buy the Norway index. I don't know. But yeah, it's quite annoying, isn't it? Just still games being played, isn't there? There's still games being played. But maybe, I mean, if we lose kind of momentum here, you would maybe see another test of this SR here. That's something maybe we'd be looking at. But again, not to say, you know, if we see strength, we obviously want to see this reverse now and start pushing back above 5,800. Back towards 5,900 is what we need. We need strength in the stock market. We've got Nvidia down on open. We've got Apple nuking. So that's not helping things. Got Meta just staying put. We've got Microsoft staying put. Everything's staying put. Google's down a bit, but Apple is nuking in it, minus 1.86%. So maybe that's what's taking things down. Maybe that's what's taking things down. In terms of the S&P. But yeah, Bitcoin again, just messing with people. Pump into the open and then dump. So that's where we're at. If you buy Bitcoin, you are shorting fiat. Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Analyze OBX, the Norway equivalent for top 25 companies. You could say that there is a sloping inverse head and shoulders on the hourly. Maybe. I don't really look too much at patterns, to be honest. Apple allegedly suing the US government. There's always something going on at the moment, and there's always a headline every day. And this just looks like it's coming back down, doesn't it? Looks like it's coming back down, just erasing all today's gains. So mad I didn't close that hype trade. That's really going to annoy me now. It's really going to annoy me because I knew I was looking at it and I was thinking, maybe I should probably close this. But no. And yeah, tanking. Oh, what a surprise. Here we go. And yeah, here's the S&P going for it as well. So the S&P is on the way down. Taking Bitcoin with it. I suspect maybe we come down and retest this level again. Always US related, also funny. Yeah, there's a headline every single day, isn't there? There's a headline every single day. Which is just, it's wild. Like it's almost like it's planned. Because it probably is. It probably is planned, but it's almost like it's planned. But yeah, Bitcoin is doing nothing. Doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, that's all for today. Obviously, we had our nice little roundup before of the market. But yeah, do make sure, if you've only just joined or you've not been watching the full way through, go back to the start and check out Save with Cryptos. I think he was talking about it was about the first 20 minutes, half an hour-ish, about the trades that he's taken recently, why he's taken them, the ups and the downs of them, and his thought process throughout them. So do make sure you go and check that out. It's well worth watching, and make sure you drop him a follow on both platforms. And appreciate everyone joining today. Been a good stream again, and we've got the Wizard on tomorrow. The Wizard himself in the chat. Got him coming on tomorrow, so should be another great stream. And he says Avgo is approaching his buy zone and he's loading up, so we'll take a look to see where that is tomorrow pre-market when he's on stream. Until now, until then, I'll catch some of you in the Discord that are in the Discord. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Hopefully we can bank some profits. It'd be great if the market did a U-turn for me, but it seems as though we're getting more and more headlines to create a cocktail of confusion and manipulation. So there's never a dull moment. Right, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day and see you then. Bye-bye.